Hi, welcome to clickmyproject.com. This video will lead us to advanced version of a priori algorithm. In this process, we are going to see how frequent items are generated based on the association rule. Also, we will see that how association rules are generated based on the advanced a priori algorithm by overcoming the limitations in the original a priori algorithm. The a priori rule may be a common classical rule of association rule mining. This paper discusses the limitations of first a priori algorithm and presents a sophisticated version of a priori rule to extend the potency of generating association rules. Our rule uses organized transaction choice approach wherein the rule square measure generated by learning the transactions in step with the very best order, initial basis, and therefore avoiding generation of unnecessary patterns that are not a section of the first information. The major advantages of our approach is that the quantity of information scanned is massively reduced to the order of O power of n, that is, of the order of variety of transactions obtained for the frequent patterns generation. It overcomes the time quality of original a priori algorithm, that is of the order O power of en. Now we are going to see the process flow. First, we select the transaction data set as an input for our process. After selecting the data set, we pass the data set using DOM builder function and load the data set into the database. After loading the data set, we first deduct the longest transactions in the database, which means number of items should be high. After selecting the longest transaction, we omit the transaction and deduct the next transaction with longest value. We repeat the above process until all the transaction is scanned. After deducting the various support value, we generate the association rule based on our proposed system. After that, we order the transactions based on the support value in descending order. Then we set the minimum support as threshold. We select the various support count and generate the frequent item sets based on the support count. After generating the frequent item sets, we generate the item list from the frequent item sets. Now we are going to see the demo of the whole process. In this process, we are going to see how frequent item sets are generated based on the advanced a priori algorithm by means of association rule. First, we have to select the data set for our process. Here I am selecting the data set called transactions.xml, which is kept under the folder dataset for our process. Then we are going to parse the dataset by using DOM builder functions, which is used to extract the items from the XML document. Then we are going to load the dataset into the database. Then we are going to view the dataset which is loaded in the database. In this database, TID represents the transactions ID and item 1, item 2 refers to the items in the transactions. Also, the support value will refers to the count of items in each transactions. Here we can see the count of all the transactions. There are totally 70 transactions in our data set. Then we are going to implement the advanced a priori algorithm. First, we are going to select the most longest transactions in the database. By clicking the process button, we are going to select the transaction which is longest than anything else. Here we have selected the longest transaction and we can loading the transactions ID in the drop down box. We can select the transaction ID and see the items in the transactions. The only one transaction is selected here. Here I am selecting the transactions and clicking the view button to view. The count of the transaction is 11 and the items in the transactions are water pipes, anise TMAs, motor oils, speeders, water pipes, transparent tape, chip, TV cabinets, fertilizers, fishing lures, vitamin capsules, tires, etc. Then we are going to view the transaction database based on their length, which means that transactions are ordered in ascending order. Here we are viewing the transactions based on their count. That means support count. The support count will refers to the count of items in that transaction. Then we are going to generate the frequent item sets from the database. Here I am extracting the frequent item sets based on the advanced a priori algorithm and association rule mining. Then we are viewing the items based on their support value. Then we are going to generate the item list from the item set selected by this our algorithm. Here I have set the minimum value as 5. So the support count which is greater than 5 will be deducted as a frequent item set. Then we are going to generate the item list. Here I am generating the item list based on the support count. Here I am viewing the items which is selected. From the above process, we proved that the advanced a priori algorithm efficiently extract the frequent item sets from the large database by using the association rule mining. It reduced the number of scannings of database massively than the original a priori algorithm. In this way, we can reduce the time and complexity of generating frequent item sets from large database. Finally, we proved that our advanced a priori algorithm has better efficiency than the original a priori algorithm. Thanks for watching us.